Boris is right. I have a checkered past, and I'm presently teaching, but I'm about to fade away, according to Gloria. Okay, so I think that ArcGIS is a very important online is a very important development. I think it's the future. It's definitely something that ESRI is pushing. So it's kind of moving from the desktop through our Pro, I guess, is now out. You've looked at it, and ArcGIS Online. For me, the big thing is collaboration that allows browser-based, available 24 hours a day, and extends beyond the desktop. So I want to talk about our organization. It's the newest one. It's called CUGES. And it's not as well developed, and I'm not trying to promote a research program. What we're trying to do is build a platform that any faculty, staff, or student connected with the Cornell community can belong to. So in our case, we're having something like 500 users and lots of credit points, and my understanding is we can get more just for the asking. So clearly ESRI is trying to promote this thing and so on. So we're the youngest. It was really formed by Jennifer Miner in City and Regional Planning. Jennifer, are you here? No, Jennifer, okay. And being a new professor, you know, she was cramped for time in terms of development of this. And so she was looking for someone to help support it and develop it further. At the same time, we were in a transition in our research program on applied demographics. And we're trying to find a way to collaborate with people, planners, and so on around the state through our agency. So we tried out Steve Smith's, and that worked well as an initial go. And then we said, if you're going to have people all around working on a research project, you need to go larger. Frank Povich called us and said, hey, want to take this over? If you'll do that, I'll fund you for a while. And we said, I don't know, what's to lose here? More guts than brains, so why not? Let's go for it. Xiaoling Li, Xiaoling, there you are, okay, at the top. She is the real developer of this website. I just kind of sit in the background and cheerlead. Go, Xiaoling, go, Xiaoling. She's finished her PhD, so Dr. Li now. Kind of in the summer, July, our first activity was we created a ArcGIS for a server for ArcGIS, and I'm not supposed to mention that because it's an old computer and it's not really publicly available. We then configured this new website, and you'll see it's pretty new, and there's clearly lots of room for development. So here's our home page. It's a typical template that ESRI promotes. So we've got our map, our logo. We picked a nice pastoral, easy kind of view instead of one of the aerial views or whatever. And I'm really sorry that it promotes the arts quad, but that's how it was. Xiaoling was from CRP, so she totally loved this. We tried other options. And then, of course, there's the obligatory gallery, although ours looks a little different than others, and a little text down here to describe what it's about. One of the things in there, stating very early, is the goal of this, which is to allow university faculty, staff, and students to participate in this ArcGIS online environment so they can develop materials, they can disseminate materials, they can share materials and get feedback and a collaborative kind of arrangement. I say there's 2 organizations on campus that are using this thing, 2 classrooms, but first I need to say, draw a difference between our organization and the others that you've heard about, and you'll pardon me if I say they're more focused, but also more restrictive in the sense that not everybody can be a member of it. By contrast, ours is open, and we're encouraging, and indeed the vision is anyone up to 500 users, I guess, can be a member of this community and belong to it. As long as you have a reasonable need. 3 kind of structures are, there's the 3 administrators, So Jennifer was the first person, and then Xiaoling Li, and then I joined on this thing. Membership is not totally open. It has to be by invitation, but on the other hand, if you'd like to become a member of it, you simply need to write to us and have a reasonable reason for needing it and tell us what that is, and if we think it's reasonable, we'll send you back an invitation by email, and then you're off and going. Membership and can be kind of two types, if I can put it that way. So you can join as an individual, or you could be joined as a member of a group. So one of the things you can do in this ArcGIS Online is structure it a little bit as an organizational feature into groups. And we're thinking this is going to be a big, important step for us if the membership starts expanding. Then how do we control this thing and so on? So what can happen is if you're teaching a GIS class or some related that you need this kind of material and access, the instructor could let us know, give us the names of the students in that class, and we'll go from there with it. Presently, I say there are 2 classes using it. I'd forgotten that Steve's using it in their remote sensing class, so there's 3 on campus that are doing it. You can share your products or not. It depends upon how you structure it. It can either be private, or you could share it just with a group. That is, only members of your group could view things. You can go to the whole organization, or you can go public. Notice that our homepage is structured a little different than the others, and what we're trying to do here is promote groups, because otherwise we'd have just, who knows how many maps to deal with. And instead, if you're a member of the group, then you click on it and you get access to whatever's being done there. There's a few maps we show, just similar to what others have shown. In terms of the basic functions, as I say, there's 2, the teaching and the research. So we had a research platform that we're trying to develop and still trying to develop. Depends on what our funding looks like in the future. In the teaching area, here's kind of some things that we have. So you've got the ArcGIS desktop, and so the idea is to introduce this transition into the browser-based 24-hour access ArcGIS online arrangement. So it's an interactive medium. It allows for extensive and collaboration. It's definitely mobile connected. Frank showed the iPad. It's also an app on the iPhone. And the thing we did was develop some tutorials for the students and so on. Likewise, in the, am I running out of time? Or? I'm good? About 4 minutes. A lifetime, I can fade in that time. Okay, for the research area, same kind of considerations that you're getting there. What you do is you form smaller groups, and so the collaboration is more direct. You just share with those groups. If you're not a member of the group, you don't have access. So that's the way you kind of control that. Can get individualized support. Here's one of the training documents. Xiaoling developed 4 of these training documents. This was more for the research thing, but they're adapted easily to the teaching function itself. There you go. Okay, so I'd like to just show some examples of what we did in the classroom. Let me put a little condition on this. These were done, we just said, why don't we try to just introduce this semester and see how it goes. So in my class, they have weekly assignments, labs, in addition to lectures, and so they're loaded with that. So we just threw this as kind of an overload, if you will. And we said, look, create an account for you, which we did, keep your password. Now, go make a map, okay? So there were minimal instructions, and as I say, they were overloaded to the weekly. So how'd this go? Well, went well with the minimum instruction. When you bring up map, there's like 3 little tutorials, and it helps you go through 2. Thanks. So I'm just kind of showing some of them. Some are more developed than others, but some of them are pretty rich. This is somebody who's looking at Cleveland and is interested in kind of urban gardening, if you will. And I unfortunately clicked on a pop-up and it kind of covers per map, but there you have it. Here's another one looking at protected areas and critical habitat. I mean, they choose their content. Okay. Here's another one, active landfills, biomass, and so on. Okay, so here's now another storytelling map. This is on the research side. We do repacking of demographic data, trying to map it. This one is showing time lapse or change in population, and the other tabs are showing change in employment. And if it was live, 1 minute, thank you. If it was live, I would click it through, but there clearly isn't going to be time. And I'm not going to be able to show that. And this is just showing the connectivity. How'd I do? Okay. Thank you.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah.